The city is still asleep. A faint gray light filters through the window, tracing the edges of the desk where a single lamp casts a warm, isolated glow. Outside, a gentle rain begins to fall, its soft patter a quiet rhythm against the glass. This is the hour of stillness, the precious interval between the last vestiges of night and the first stirrings of the day. It is a time for reflection, for sitting with a simple cup of black coffee, its steam rising like a silent prayer into the cool air. The world has not yet begun its relentless clamor for our attention. In this quietude, we can hear ourselves think. We can feel the weight of our own existence, not as a burden, but as a simple, profound fact. This moment is a sanctuary. It is a deliberate choice to begin the day not with frantic energy, but with grounded intention. The modern world pulls us in 1,000 different directions at once. Our phones buzz with notifications. Our calendars fill with obligations. The pressure to perform, to achieve, to be more is a constant, humming anxiety beneath the surface of our lives. We are conditioned to believe that a successful life is a busy life, a life filled with noise and motion. Yet, it is in the quiet moments like these, before the world wakes, that we find a different kind of strength. It is the strength of presence, the strength of being rooted in the here and now, unswayed by the imagined urgencies of the hours to come. The rain outside is not an inconvenience, it is a soundtrack. The silence is not empty, it is full of potential. This early morning ritual is a form of training. It is an exercise in reclaiming our focus and our peace before they are surrendered to the demands of others. By choosing to sit in silence to watch the day begin, we are practicing a form of self-possession. We are reminding ourselves that our inner state is not contingent on our external circumstances. The calm we cultivate in these first few moments can become an anchor, a source of stability to which we can return when the inevitable storms of the day arrive. It is a quiet declaration of sovereignty over our own mind, a gentle but firm refusal to be swept away by the currents of chaos that define so much of modern existence. When people hear the word Stoic, an image often comes to mind. It is the image of a man made of stone, unfeeling and unmoved. A figure who suppresses all emotion, meets joy, meets sorrow with the same flat, indifferent expression. This is the modern caricature of Stoicism, a philosophy of emotional numbness, a prescription for becoming a human robot. We are told that to be stoic is to be detached, to build a wall so high that life's arrows cannot reach you. It is a tempting proposition in a world that so often feels overwhelming. The idea of simply switching off our feelings, of becoming immune to pain and disappointment, holds a certain appeal. But this popular conception, this vision of the unfeeling statue, is a profound and damaging misunderstanding. This misinterpretation turns a rich and nuanced discipline into a simplistic life hack for avoiding discomfort. It reduces a profound system for living a good life, a eudaimonic life, into a shallow trick for emotional suppression. True Stoicism was never about eradicating emotion. The great Stoics, Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, were not unfeeling men. Their writings are filled with meditations on grief, anger, love, fear. They understood that to be human is to feel. They knew that a life devoid of emotion would be a life devoid of color, of meaning, of the very things that make it worth living. Their goal was not to stop feeling, but to stop being controlled by their feelings. They sought to transform destructive passions into productive understanding. The myth of the emotionless Stoic likely arises from a confusion between the lowercase s Stoic, meaning someone who endures pain without complaint, and the uppercase s Stoic, a practitioner of the ancient philosophy. The former describes a disposition, the latter describes a discipline. The discipline is not about ignoring the storm, but about becoming a skilled sailor who can navigate it. It asks us to acknowledge our initial impressions, flashes of anger, pangs of fear, waves of sadness, but to then pause to reflect and to choose a rational and virtuous response rather than being swept away by the initial tide. The goal is not to be a rock that is battered by the waves, but to be the lighthouse that stands firm within them, casting its light regardless of the weather. So we must begin by tearing down this false idol of the unfeeling man. Stoicism does not ask you to become less human. It asks you to become more human in the best sense of the word. It asks you to engage with your emotions with wisdom and courage, to understand their origins, and to decide whether they serve you. It is the difference between being a passenger on a runaway train of emotion and being the conductor who feels the train's power and speed, but remains in control of its direction. The philosophy is not a shield to hide behind, but a compass to guide you through the difficult and beautiful terrain of a fully lived life. It is not about feeling nothing. It is about feeling everything, and still choosing to act with virtue. Be calm. This is the way.